Okay, this is Vepija, and we are back in Drakensang. Let's do this. Okay. Still haven't done this crypt. Let's go check the crypt one last time. Maybe check out this house too if we can get to it. That's not how we get to it. Oral water mutt. What is over here? Oh, I've explored this already, haven't I? Skull Island. Did I check out Skull Island already?
Listen up, everyone.
Yes, I did check out Skull Island already. I don't know if we checked out that house yet or not. I don't think we can get over to it, can we? Does not look like we can get over to it to check it out. Still won't let her pick locks.
Aye.
Okay, well.
At once.
Did we get over to this island? Looks like we've gotten everywhere else. What about this here? We have to go all the way around to that. Okay, well, I think we're done. We're gonna get the heck out of here. Without keys, there's not much we can do in there. Okay, just saw that boat over there and I don't think that's much of a chance anyway, so let's just get out of them marshes. Let's ask around in the muddy boot.
On occasion of tomorrow's festivities, a feast will be held in honor of Boron. So knock the dust out of your best rags and bring a healthy appetite with you. Greetings. I am the innkeeper Pebblebeer. It was you that brought Moreland back home to us. If you need a soft bed for the night or any information, just come to me. And if a good meal or a fine ale is your desire, then look no further. Both are more than affordable at my end.
Since you rescued our Deont and helped us get rid of our bailiff, I give you my double thanks to you. Thank you for bringing our good Moreland back home safely. We, the villagers of Moorbridge, owe you a great thanks for ridding us of our ill-tempered bailiff. What can I do for you? Is there anything else I could do? I'm always looking to give help. Are there any problems in the area that you could use a hand with? Helping hand? How to free Moorbridge of its bailiff. Oh, I'm sorry, that just slipped out. Our bailiff essentially called out fate upon himself, and his death is certainly not the most unsuitable one for him. It just occurred to me that you could also take care of a small thing for me. Some wolf rats are constantly getting into my storeroom. I would reward you well if you could eliminate the beasts, which are roaming around near my inn. These creatures are more brazen than a horde of leprechauns. They aren't even scared off when Ulfrid works at the anvil. Instead, they nearly jump into his lap. Ulfrid, is that the resident blacksmith? He is both a blacksmith as well as a timber merchant. He's mostly out in the moor looking for suitable types of wood. Neither undead nor wolf rats frighten him. About those wolf rats, I've already gotten rid of all the wolf rats around the inn. Old habit of mine. Wonderful, then please take these 4 silver thalers as a reward. Thank you very much. 4 silver thalers for those few wolf rats? You are definitely no Scrooge. Well, I don't charge just for good prices when it comes to taking in money. What can I do for you? What do you have to offer here? Not much. Crabber.
Aha! You want to talk to me, I suppose?
Yes, may I ask you a couple of questions? Let me think it over. No, I don't think so. Ask someone else. I'm not feeling talkative. Will you at least give me your name? Crabber. That's enough now. I want to drink my beer.
Anyone else want a fresh pint of beer?
Yes? Do you want to talk to me?
Nilla, don't talk to these. Crabber, what's the big idea? Sometimes you're unbearable. Please don't take any offense. It's simply his way. Be a complete bore, out of all proportion. He insults people even without even thinking. You delivered us from the clutches of the tyrannical bailiff and returned our Diant. Many thanks to you. Please take these herbs as a token of my profound gratitude. That is really not necessary. Nonsense. Please take them. How can I help you? Can you tell me something about the village? About Moorbridge? Now that Morlind is back with us again. At least you have delivered most of the undead. I see a rosier future in this future. The peat cutters will ensure a modest income and will make the abandoned houses and farmsteads in the area fit to live in again. Anything else you want to know? I'd like to know a bit more about someone from here. Gladly. Who exactly? Tell me about yourself. You want to know something about me? Very well. My husband and I ran the mill some years ago. One night he up and disappeared without a trace, and even today I don't know if he fell victim to the moor or the undead. A few weeks before he vanished, he was acting more and more oddly, and during his final days he was literally out of his senses, had delusions and temper tantrums. Ultimately, he tore down the footprint to the watermill, and while I was in the village, he wouldn't let anyone near him, not even me. I was broken for a long time after his disappearance, thanks to Morlind, our Boron Diant, who cared for me with heartwarming devotion. I was able to live with the loss and the uncertainty. Even the innkeeper was good to me and assigned me a small room at the inn. Sometimes I help him out in exchange. But mostly I gather herbs in the moor and sell them since my husband disappeared. With all the undead though, I have only been able to gather herbs during the midday hours and not too far from the village. That's why I don't have such a big selection. Anything else you want to know? May I have a look at your herb assortment? Recipe for Golemon tea. I will take that. For wound powder, salve healing, and one berry juice. Okay.
Don't you have time for a little small talk? There have been very few travelers coming through Moorbridge lately, and I do so enjoy exchanging news with strangers and telling them about myself, my deeds, and my work.
Your deeds, your work. You don't do a thing besides emptying one tankard after the other and holding people up with your gabbling. Ilra, not in front of the strangers. What are people to think of us? Alright then, tell me about yourself in brief. Okay. Oh, that's right. I, for one, can't imagine that you are one of those kinds of people who gossip about others. I would never dare say even one word about others. My mother, Boron have mercy on her, always thought that you shouldn't gossip about others. That was sorely a woman's privilege. Well, yes, talking about other people is not always just gossip. Certainly, the line can be very fine, just the same, so I always take the safe path and only speak of things that have to do with me. Alright, tell me about yourself and breathe. Well, very well. I'll try not to stray far from the subject. I was born as Wigger, the oldest of 3 brothers and 2 sisters. My parents perished in the hands of the undead. I'm actually a peat cutter and live somewhat beyond the village, but in these sad times, I am with my family seldom and have to dig all the more graves for that. Dig graves? Are you the local gravedigger? I was just going to tell you about that. As a resolution I made at one time that our dear Morlind should not have to dig graves in addition to her other tasks, so I took on that job a few years ago. Before you ask, Morlind is our village Boron Diant. A really decent sort considering that she's a woman. Chap, does she speak of a Diant that way? That would be of great interest to me too, Wigger. I didn't mean it that way. She's not only an honorable woman, but also an honorable man. No, I mean, oh, that's not so important. Anyway, I didn't even want to talk about her, but about myself. You can see that only leads to misunderstanding. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, too many graves have had to be dug recently, all because of this damn plague of undead. Our Morlind went out to the moor to find the cause of the situation. Damn me, now I'm talking about her again. In this case, that is not a concern. I already knew that Morlindi went into the moor, so go right ahead. Oh, better not. It's easy for me to say too much. Just the other day I accidentally said something about Crabber's treasure. Oh dear. Crabber's treasure? What kind of treasure? What? How? Curses. My mother was so right. I was and will always be a bungler. Aren't you being a bit too hard on yourself? Well then, I won't test your discretion any longer. I wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you, and a good evening to you too.
There's some sour cream stew left.
Oh, a new face. You don't see many of those here in Moorbridge.
You are causing quite a stir. You send Burgess to Boron and Boron Diant back to us. You have done more than everyone else put together in many years. My goodness, when I first laid eyes on you, I expected something to happen, but this here has surpassed all of my expectations by quite a bit. What can I do for you? Okay.
Anyone else want a fresh pint of beer? There's some
A
sour.
rogue. Cough.
Greetings. By the looks of your clothing, you're not from here either. And I thought I was the only outsider here.
The way things look, you are not that at all, by a long sight. My name is Leakdan of Ragashov. May I ask why you are here and what your name is? You may at least, cough, in regard to my name, Belissa Greenmont. Pleased to meet you. You weren't outside at the gathering. One can scarcely hold it against me that I preferred not to witness that superstitious ceremony. I might have very well have been the next victim, because coughing is seen as the first sign of becoming undead. The irony of fate that the bailiff became the victim of his own bloodthirstiness. You seem to be afflicted with a very severe malady, going by a bad cough that is plaguing you. Yes, it has gotten particularly worse over the last few days, but that is not my biggest concern at the moment. If you don't want to tell me what circumstances bring you here, then may I at least know the reasons for your reticence? Well, what the heck? Let's save the chit-chat and put our cards on the table. Soapstone from Furdock sent you, isn't that true? Well, if you put it that way, the description does fit you closely, in fact. If you had not confessed first, I would have surely brought it up. Thalia? Thalia de Revendoza, if you please. To get straight to the point, I didn't want to clean Soapstone out, at least not to that extent. I myself am the victim of appalling circumstances that forced me to that act of desperation. I'll make you a business proposition. Even much more than that. I'm asking for your help. I'm somewhat surprised, to be honest. I was sure that you were going to deny the theft, but above all, I ask myself why you specifically chose Moorbridge as your hiding place. I'll explain it all to you. It's quite a long story, however. Even though I don't have much time, I would like to hear your story. Just tell me most important points very briefly. Very well. Very briefly. The necklace that I'm wearing is cursed. Recently I learned how the curse can be removed. To this end, I must go into the crypts that are scattered across the moor, and because it is too dangerous for me to go into the moor alone, I need your help. Should you help me, you'll get Soapstone's belongings back once the curse has been banished. That's why I need you to escort me so that I can take the necklace back to the place it belongs. Please protect me on the way to that crypt, and I'll not only replace the valuables I lifted from Soapstone, but also reimburse you for your own expenses. Very well, show me where the crypt is and I'll escort you there. Thank you. Guess it's back out under the moor. It is that same crypt. Awesome, the one I couldn't get into. Oh, back out to that crypt. Luckily I have this place cleared out. I'm glad I stopped in the tavern. The inn? The tavern? Whatever. Wait a second here.
That's me.
For Amazon Pride.
Okay. So can anyone do that? Alchemy? So I don't have anyone that has alchemy skill. I can't even see her.
I'll take care of that.
Okay, so I do have that. 2 spring water and 1 one-berry, 10 one-berries. I don't have any spring water. I can go buy spring water, that's fine. So let's do the golem on T also. I need one golem on leaves and spring water. Why is it red? Why can't I do it? Talent unknown. Okay, so I have to get that talent now. Crap.
We're here. I managed to lock the door just in time before the wandering skeletons got to me last time. I've got the key here. I'll unlock it when you're ready.
Well, go for it. Yeah, so let's get the bottom of this curse. Alright, but be careful. Who knows what we should expect behind the door after all these years. Wow. Damn, nice. Sorry.
Oh, did I actually hear footsteps? Who or what is there?
A ghost! The hat? The blade? No! Eric! He's still alive? Oh no, that's impossible!
What a coincidence! Just the word that always came to mind when I was thinking about your cruel prank. Did my precious home really find her way back after all these years?
You recognize me? But what's happened to you?
Let me think. Where best to start? Oh, I know! How do you like the place where I just barely defeated the skeletons with grand effort only to realize that I would die miserably of starvation because a certain someone locked the exit?
But I thought you were already dead. I panicked. I was just trying to save my own life.
Your life? I had no idea you dragged yours around with you in a linen sack. Or, wait! Was our joint booty even in there perchance? Which we plan to share along with the dangers that will cross our path on the way to it?
Yes. Should your death have been in vain then? But the necklace from the Horde turned out to be cursed. I paid for my actions. And anyway, you would have done exactly the same thing.
It's an interesting question, one that I've had plenty of time to think about. Perhaps I would have done exactly the same. But be that as it may, the past is the past. As long as we're being so frank about the error of our ways, the curse that is upon you was carried out into the world on my dying breath. Who'd have thought it would fall onto such fertile ground here? And the most delicious part is only I can dispel it. But I leave the choice to you. Either you keep me company down here until the end of your days, or you hold to your end of the bargain and give me my share of the loot.
Spend the rest of my life in this smelly hole with you, or give you your share? What kind of choice is that supposed to be? If you're behind this curse, you'll know very well that I have no means of ever paying you off.
Besides, no choice is all you should be entitled to, actually. However, you are clever enough not to come here alone, so the possibility of being aided by your uncursed escort remains. You there, I, the immortal remains of Alric Farfara, ask you, are you willing and able to take on the death of the perfidious but enchanting Talia? I don't expect a large fortune, for forgive me, these useless items, they were not worth much.
Only 27 ducats. I think that should be possible for someone like you. Even though more would have been better, I was always an honest rogue. 27 ducats. I even have that much with me, and I am also willing to give them to you. Here, take them.
At long last, I'll sweeten my soldier in Moron's kingdom with the gold. Farewell, dearest darling.
The necklace, alas, it's vanished. Oh, thank you so much. You saved my life. I'll be eternally grateful to you. I'll get Soapstone's belongings and give them to you at the tavern. Please meet me there.
Just a moment. And if that has vanished as well, who will give me a guarantee that you won't simply take off again? There are no grounds for concern. I won't trick you. Please take the rest of the equipment that belonged to my former comrade as a deposit. It isn't much, but Ulrich's rapier was his pride and joy. That alone is worth a fortune. Take Ulrich's rapier, although it wasn't his proudest possession. Wouldn't you think that's inappropriate? You have some audacity to give me the cold shoulders. Actually, a pleasant thought. So Ulrich's blade will be brandished in new adventures. Besides, a robbed thief also represents a certain type of justice. You speak the truth. I'm sure Ulrich would have done the same thing. So it would be completely in the spirit of his character that you receive his sword. I'm going to go fetch Soapstone's possessions now. I'll see you at the tavern later. Okay. We're in here. We have to cleanse this last crypt. We'll take that. What? Ah.
A dwarf stands by his word. Roar!
All right. Seretus Astra. Jerusalem.
Die! Good choice.
Bloody hatchet. Who'd have guessed? Okay, like that, can we, Awesome. Let's go back to, Moorland. Actually, once we get out, I think I'm gonna call it. We'll go back to Moorland next time. And to the tavern. So, this is Bepaja, and, do those 3 things that'll make us both happy. You click on that like, you give me a subscribe, and you ring that bell, so you can see me next time. Later. The harpies? Okay, we gotta fight the harpies quick.
Attack!
I'll try my very best.
Borax.
everyone. For Amazon Pride. Avenging Kirkham.
Oh, well, he's down.
Yay! My anger is fear!
Borax.
Get these harpy feathers quick.
Stay behind me.
Okay. Well, make quick work of the harpies. And I'm gonna call it later. I already did the end exit, and then we got attacked, so later.